Hi, this is Erin Coopey, the Glorified Home Chef, and today I have Jason Goertz with me, who is going to be my Glorified Home Chef, and he is going to be making homemade sausage. Today we're going to be making breakfast sausage. But Jason, tell me how you got into making sausage in general.
I just have always been interested in cooking, and I love sausage, and I was reading through a cookbook, and it had sausage recipes in it, so I thought, what the heck, I'll try it. I love gadgets, so I was having fun customizing my KitchenAid mixer, and I got a grinder, and the rest is history, as they say.
Excellent, excellent. Well, my dad used to make sausage from time to time when I was a kid, and there's nothing like homemade breakfast sausage. So get ready, we're going to show you how to do it. Our first step is to grind the pork.
Correct.
And what kind of pork are we using?
We're using pork shoulder. It's got a great mix of meat and fat and sinew, and when you grind it, it grinds that connective tissue up, makes it nice and tender.
Excellent. And Jason has cut this into 1-inch cubes as well. But if someone doesn't have a grinder at home, they could always use ground pork.
Correct. You can buy it pre-ground at the store, and you can also use, for most of these recipes, you can use chicken or turkey or any kind of ground meat like that.
Great. Okay, well, let's get grinding. We're getting ready to mix up our breakfast sausage. Jason, why don't you tell us what the ingredients are?
Okay, well, first of all, we have salt. All sausages have salt. It's if you don't put salt in sausage, it's something else. It's meatloaf. I don't know what it is.
It's a preservative.
It's a preservative. Yep. That was the idea behind sausage when it was invented thousands of years ago. We have red pepper flake, sage, which is probably the main ingredient that makes it breakfast sausage.
Okay.
We have a little nutmeg, and we have some parsley flakes and a little pepper.
Excellent. Great. So we're going to mix all these ingredients together. And this is a really good basic recipe for breakfast sausage, but people could totally have fun with this, right?
Absolutely.
They could add in some maple. They could add in other flavors. Have you tried anything interesting or different?
I've made maple. I've made a sausage where you grind bacon up with the pork. There's any kind of sweet spice, allspice.
Oh, excellent.
Anything like that, cinnamon you could put in. So you can customize this as much as you want.
That's great. So we're going to also provide some links on my blog to other sausage making websites so that if you get really inspired, you can kind of go there and explore a little bit more. So let's mix this on up. We've added all our spices to the ground pork, and I noticed, Jason, that you put those on very evenly. Can you tell us why you did that?
Right. I like to spread the spices out evenly to help the distribution, get it evenly distributed throughout the meat. If you just dump it into piles, it's very hard to get it evenly distributed. You might get a pocket of something that's very salty or very peppery, and it's not fun.
So I also noticed that you went out of your way to use a finely ground salt.
Correct. Again, the salt is, because it's finely ground, it's easier to distribute all over. And also most of the recipes that you find generally will call for just salt, which I've always interpreted as just basically table salt or some sort of finely ground salt.
Okay, great, great. And so now we're going to do some mixing.
Now we're going to mix, and it's great because if you like playing with your food, this is one of the great dishes to make.
Excellent, okay.
So I just kind of fold it all over, just with your hands. And you just want to you don't want to work it too hard or it'll make it tough.
Okay.
But you want to kind of do this until you kind of can see that the spices are evenly distributed.
Perfect.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
We're actually doing a little sample taste of the sausage. Now, this is a real tried and true recipe, so we don't have to, but Jason mentioned this is a really good idea because why is that, Jason?
Well, if you're, especially if you're new to sausage making, or if you're trying to, or if you've done it a bit and you're trying to develop your own recipes, you want to taste it for seasoning. The thing is, with raw pork, you do not want to eat it raw. So you want to cook it, just a little piece, like we have here.
Let's take a look. Look, a little dab.
Yes.
I'm ready to taste.
And you just want to taste it for seasoning.
Really good.
Nice.
Now it's time to cook it. We're cooking in a cast iron skillet, but you could cook on a griddle or whatever you've got, right?
Or a Teflon pan, whatever you have.
Okay, and we're doing this over medium heat.
Right.
Okay.
And we're going to be cooking these patties. I formed the patties, however big you want them. These are 2.5, 3 inches wide. And one thing, just like making a hamburger, you want to kind of put a divot in the middle, or else it'll puff up in the middle. And this will make it a little flatter, and it'll be nicer to eat when you eat it.
Excellent.
So just lay it in the pan.
How long do you think it takes to cook these until they're fully cooked?
You know, I'm being kind of a gadget geek. I actually will measure the temperature, but I would say about 3 minutes aside.
Okay.
Would be a good guess. Depends on how thick you make the patty and so on, but you definitely, this is pork, so you want to cook it to
Well done.
well done, 160. You don't want to overcook it and make it dry, but
we
want to
definitely
make sure it's cooked.
we don't want to see any pink in this at all. Great.
Correct.
Our sausage has been cooking for about maybe 4 or 5 minutes now, so it's time to flip. So Jason, do the honors. We have been going for another 4 minutes or so on this side. We're going to do a little quick temperature check and make sure that we are fully done. And we are. We're well over 160 degrees. We want to be in that 160 to 165 degree range. So let's go ahead and pull those off. We finished cooking the sausages, and they were so good we started to eat them. But we thought maybe we should tell you how good they are, because they are really good.
They are really good.
Thank you so much for sharing the recipe with us today, Jason. I appreciate it. Yum.